Very busy. Busy es ocupado, ¿verdad, teacher?
Busy, busy. Yes, that's
Busy.
correct.
Yeah, yeah. And also
Um,
with the propedeutics, I think it's a very close routine that I stay rolling.
Very nice. How was your visit to FEMA the other day? Did you like the school actually? It's very different from the time when your dad and myself studied at FEMA. When your dad
Yeah.
and I went to FEMA,
Uh-huh.
the school was in Faja de Oro, which
Yeah,
is the
it's
main
another,
street.
huh? Mhm.
Now it's a new campus, very beautiful, very pretty. How did you like it? Was it pretty?
Yeah, yeah, it looks fine. Yeah, it's pretty. It's on the cerro. Cerro, ¿cómo se dice, teacher? In the
In the
hill,
mount.
yeah. In the hill, yeah, it calls this is all the campus.
It's very,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I also I like that I learned to drive on the carry on the way on the road of the carretera. ¿Cómo se dice, teacher?
Can you drive now on the highway?
Yeah, yes, teacher, and it's a very gusto. ¿Cómo se dice gusto mío? Like,
A
oh,
pleasure. It's a great pleasure.
yes, it's a great pleasure. Yeah, great pleasure to
Yeah.
me to start
Yeah.
to learning. Yeah, and also one problem that I have is that also, I think that also it's the I think that I don't comment to you, teacher, but it's
Yeah.
the reason that um, I mean late to reserve the time of the class
Oh,
that
no,
I
don't worry.
yeah because I staying on the two propedeutics teacher at the same time for also and another option that the female I also want to present on the UNAM and I also start course one another two extra propedeutic of the for to enter especially with the focus on the exam of the UNAM but this propedeutic have an chronogram of Monday till Friday for the 6 p.m. Till the 10:30 p.m. and it's daily. So also right now I need to stay on the propedeutic, but I take my time to the classes to yes to the classes. ¿Cómo se dice? Sí, sí, ¿no?
To take classes, okay.
The
But
classes.
but your course is now. So can
Yeah,
you take
the
the
course
English
is right
class, or you
now.
want to do it some other day, maybe? Because if you're in class now,
No,
as
no, 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 no. Yeah, yes, I have my propedeutic now, but I assume 1 hour of the propedeutic to also take the class of English because I value how class I stay in pass. For example, if I take class of biology, that is a topic that I um, don't ¿cómo se dice dominar, teacher?
command, fully command.
Yes, don't fully command a lot. Like I fully command, for example, math. I don't jump the class of biology, but for example, right now I have the class of math. But on math, I know I full command a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, and I don't need that. I need to take the class of math. The also our two classes are the class of math and the class of cálculo. The class of cálculo, I think that I need, but the class of math that is geometric analytic, that is product notables, the algebraic, polynomials, binomials, all of these kind of things I fully command 100%, and I think that I can take these classes, take these times. That also I have the homework of all the propedeutics, and I need to take my times to sometimes do another things. Yeah, for example, right now I don't stay in class ahorita. I
Okay,
I come from misa, and also it's another time that I take to another things, no, to
I
approve it.
see.
aprovechar, yeah,
to take advantage of the
to
time.
take
Excellent.
advantage, yeah,
Very good, Luis. Well, you are organized. That's important thing that you know how to use your time, and that is important. As long as you know what you're doing, and good luck with
yeah. Thank
both
you.
admission tests. When is your admission test for UNAM, and when is your admission test for female, Luis?
Yeah, the date of the film I have now on my cell phone, but I don't remember.
Okay,
And the date of the UNAM is the days on this transition of May and June.
okay.
It don't the day defined for me now, but it's on this week, the transition of May and June.
I see. Uh,
But the Guanajuato University, mm, I go.
yeah, no worries.
Yeah. Uh, they, I don't found it. Yeah, I have this here. I have the schedule of the feature, the schedule of admission, but
Right.
I don't really. I think then I need to search. Yeah, I don't found.
It's just an approximate date that this month, in the month of May, June, July,
Mm,
just by the month, not the precise date, but you have an idea when you're going to present the tests, right? The
yes,
admission test.
yes, on 3 months away.
3 months, 3 months time. Okay. So
See,
you
see.
have enough time to prepare, and it's very good that you are studying in advance, Luis. That's excellent. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Thank you, teacher. Teacher, I want to ask you. I think today you sent to me one link of Leeches, but it's a game of two another players. But one of these players is a Mexican, no?
Yeah, that's our best. Is not only a Mexican, he's the champion of Mexico. He's the best player of Mexico
Oh,
now.
okay,
He's the
okay.
best Mexican player, and he's in second place in the World Junior Chess Championship.
Oh, okay, okay.
He's
How
second.
much ranking have? Ella?
He's got 2501,
Okay.
2501.
Yeah.
And clearly he plays better than that. And probably he's going to be the next grandmaster in Mexico. He's extremely good. His name is Sion Galaviz.
Yeah.
His parents are out of Sinaloa, and he's a very good guy. He's young and very
And
strong.
you know it? The guy?
Personally, I know who he is, and yeah,
Oh,
and he just defeated a very strong player.
okay, okay. It's very interesting.
So he can be the first Mexican world champion in a World Junior Chess Championship.
Okay. Yeah.
If he wins the next two games, he can become the first Mexican world champion in chess ever. Actually,
Ah, okay, okay.
yeah,
He's from Sinaloa, so
he's from Sinaloa. Yes.
Sinaloa, yeah. So, and how much age he have?
How many? How old is he?
How much?
He is 18, 19 years old, I think.
19.
19
Okay.
years old.
It's
Yeah,
younger.
but he's very young, but
Very.
he's a good kid. He's been studying chess since he was a kid,
Yeah.
and he's got a very good style. And the reason why I sent you this is because you have the opportunity to take a look at his games. And he's very cool. He plays well, and he's doing very well. Today, I just learned that his trainer is a guy from Argentina by the name of Sandro Mareco,
Okay. Okay,
trainer.
yeah. And
Trainer.
also, Argentine also have his stronger players, no? Also, he had on Argentine stay one another kid, no? I don't know if you know the one kid of Argentine,
From
Faustino.
Argentina, Faustino, yeah, it's a young kid who's a prodigy. He's a
Yeah,
prodigy. Yeah, but honestly, Argentina has a very good level of chess. Very good level, good players, good structure.
uh-huh.
It's really fabulous. It's really good. So it's a good place to go and train. Also, they say that Buenos Aires is a lovely city. It's a city that I would very much would like to visit. Hopefully, one day. They
Oh,
say there is a lot of culture in Argentina, Luis. I don't know if you are aware of that, but it's got a lot of things. What do you know about Argentina, Argentinian people? What do
of
you know
the
about Argentina?
I I need to admit that I'm ignorant of the topic. I don't know a lot of the culture, but I'm very curious. I don't know if you know some of this.
Well, in many areas, for example, I know that there is a guy by the name of Jorge Luis Borges and Julio Cortázar.
Oh yeah, the writers,
They
yeah,
are writers,
yeah.
yes. In
Of
music
the
and film, you
Alep,
have,
no?
yeah, actually, let me give you a list of people from Argentina who are very, very prominent. Many of them I don't know. I know some, but not all of them. Let me share this with you, please. Give me a second, please. Okay, here. I'll make okay, here.
Yeah.
And I'll share this with you. Let me see what you think of these people, which ones you know, which ones you don't know,
Hmm.
and why do they have these great people? Is a question that I'd like to ask myself and ask many other people too. Why do Argentinians have so many renowned and smart people? Like, for example, let's take a look at this, Luis.
Okay. Science and medicine. I read now.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. Bernardo Husserl, Nobel Prize in Psychology or Medicine, and 1947 for discoveries on the role of pituitary gland in glucose metabolism. Okay.
Yeah, well, imagine physiology or medicine is good, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Do you know who are our three Nobel Prize winners?
Three Nobel Prize. Sorry, teacher.
Winners in
Can you
Mexico, yeah,
repeat it?
we have three Nobel Prize winners in Mexico. Three.
Ah. Oh,
One.
oh yeah. Yeah. I don't. I
Okay,
forget. Sorry.
literature is the first one. I'm sure you know this.
Ah, María Vargas Llosa.
No,
Yeah,
Mario
no?
Vargas Llosa is not from Mexico.
No, Octavio Paz, Octavio Paz.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Yeah. Okay, Octavio Paz. Very good. Now
Sorry.
the one for peace.
Peace. I know.
Alfonso, I think is Alfonso Robles, I think. Alfonso Robles. But this one, the next one, I'm sure that you know him. The only one that we have in chemistry.
I remember something. I don't know if it's a discoverment of. I don't know if it was Mexican. It's some people of on my mind, but I don't know if is this that discovered some advance of the anticonceptive on the. No. I don't sure, teacher. Mario Molina,
Well,
no. No.
the name was Mario Molina. Mario Molina sounds familiar?
No, teacher. No.
No? Okay, Octavio Paz and Garcia Robles. Garcia Robles win the Nobel Prize. Okay, three Mexican people. Uh, Octavio Paz, Gabriel Garcia Marquez didn't win the Nobel Prize. Mario Molina for chemistry, atmospheric chemistry. Let me show you. He was Mexican. He is still Mexican. I think he passed away here. Mario Molina. That's the reason. You want to read it, Luis, please?
Yeah. Recent, he won Nobel Prize in chemistry for his research on the of
Depletion
depletion of the ozone layer
layer.
due to chlorofluorocarbons. His work helped lead to the Montreal Protocol, an international agreement to protect the ozone layer.
Yeah, la capa de ozono is very important because due to the pollution, you can destroy the ozone layer.
Mhm. Yeah.
So this concept of the ozone layer, Luis, is very important. It's crucial, actually.
Okay.
Right? So we want to protect it because if there is a penetration of the ozone layer,
Yeah.
the violet rays of the sun can burn your skin, can burn your cheeks, your face. The burns from the sun can lead to cancerous cells. So
Yes.
ultraviolet rays are very dangerous.
Yes.
They manage to penetrate the ozone layer. The ozone layer is our protection, Luis.
Yeah, yeah. But teacher, with the ozone layer, we refer what is the ozone layer? I don't understand. Sorry.
Ozone layer is la capa de ozono.
Yeah, yes, yes, the capa de ozono. Pero so Mario Molina discovered the capa de ozono.
No, no, no. The depletion of the ozone layer, you destroy. What he discovered is that you deplete, you reduce, you fragment, you reduce, you affect, or you dañan the ozone layer with these elements, chlorofluorocarbons.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
Because of the constant pollution, you are, not you, but we are damaging the ozone layer with these elements that come from many gases and
Yes.
pollutions that are depleting. Deplete is to reduce, destroy. We are
Yeah.
destroying the ozone layer because of these elements that are in many pollutants.
Yeah. Yes.
Consequently, the countries organize a protocol called the Montreal Protocol, similar to the Kyoto Protocol, but this is the Montreal Protocol,
Okay.
with the idea to protect the ozone layer. That's the idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So this is a great contribution to science from Mario Molina,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Well,
Yes. It's
this is
fundamental.
yeah. These are the three Mexican guys that we have three Nobel prizes.
Okay. Yeah.
Alfonso Garcia Robles,
What is
Mario
the
Molina.
apportation of Garcia Robles, teacher?
The profession, I don't know. Luis.
No, the apportation. The apportation.
Well, I think he fought for peace, right? Alfonso Garcia Robles. I'm sure that he worked on peace. He was a diplomat and he was the key architect of the Treaty of Tlatelolco.
Oh, okay. Ah, yeah.
And also he contributed to the release of nuclear weapons from the Caribbean. In other words, Mexico doesn't have nuclear weapons, but Cuba didn't either. But I don't know if you remember the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Human Mrs. Sorry, can you repeat your question?
Do you remember the episode of the Cuban Missile Crisis?
Human. No, no, teacher.
No, well, but you know what it is, or you don't know what it is?
No, I don't. I don't know it.
You don't know what it is. Okay, the Americans, the United States, had installed nuclear missiles in Turkey and in
Okay.
Italy,
Okay.
in the proximity to the Soviet Union. So Nikita Khrushchev was constantly telling Kennedy and the previous presidents to remove him. It's similar to what is happening now in the Ukrainian Russia war, right?
Yeah.
We say, imagine that I'm a friend of you and your family, but let's suppose that one person is not friend of these guys, right? So they install missiles here next to your house, nuclear missiles. You say, why do you have nuclear missiles next to my house? And they don't do nothing, right? So, well, if you don't remove the missiles from my house, what am I going to do? I'm going to install nuclear missiles in Cuba here. So the Russians were trying to install nuclear missiles here in Cuba
But for why on Cuba, teacher?
because Cuba is very close to the US.
Okay, okay, okay.
They had no possibility of installing the nuclear missiles in Mexico, of course. That was close to impossible. But they were planning to install the nuclear missiles here.
Okay.
So Kennedy says, well, our satellites can see some holes in the broccoli fields, right? Some broccoli fields in Cuba have some round things. Remember, Luis, that the satellite technology in the United States, well, in the world, in 1960 was very incipient, right? 1960s.
What is the
Imagine how
meaning of it? Incipient, teacher?
very in diapers, en pañales,
Ah, okay.
incipiente,
Okay.
iniciando, right?
Yeah.
So it was very basic. So they couldn't be sure if these circumferences were crops like wheat or sorghum or were silos for missiles, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
In reality, they were silos for missiles to launch missiles. They go
Yeah.
here. That's the reality. But they were not sure because the satellite technology was very incipient. So they said, well, we're going to send some CIA agents to Cuba to investigate. And they confirmed that in reality, yes, they were silos for to launch missiles. So it became a scandal because say, hey, what are you planning to put missiles in my door, in my back door? And
Yeah.
then the Russians says, well, you have missiles in Turkey and in Italy. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to install nuclear missiles in Cuba. So the Americans, what they did is they sent a blockade here, blocking. You play basketball?
No, right now, no. A little bit antes.
Okay.
Before.
But you know that in basketball and in some sports, you block the opponents, right? You
Ah,
can
yeah.
establish a blockade. Well, this blockade is what Kennedy did with the Navy to prevent Russian ships to bring the nuclear missiles to Cuba,
Okay.
right? That's what Kennedy did. So he sent the Navy to block the Russian ships.
Yeah, yeah.
So the Russians started to communicate with Kennedy in these famous letters, Khrushchev, Kennedy. But it was a world crisis. It
Yes.
could have led to the third nuclear war.
Yeah.
I mean, the first nuclear war, but the
Yeah.
third world war, right? It was very close. But finally, both presidents decided to negotiate. Um, Khrushchev removed the missiles from here, and Kennedy removed the missiles from Turkey and from Italy,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So that was the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yes.
And Mario Molina, what he did was to contribute to a document performed by Mexico in which he says the Caribbean will never have nuclear weapons. And that's a treaty is tratado.
Okay.
And they gave him the Nobel Prize for that.
Ah, okay. 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 Yeah.
What do you think of these treaties, Luis?
Of this problem is very is very crucial. Yeah. Yeah. I don't like. I think that I it's a lot of the information that I don't know is honestly, but also I think that are important because it's a historic moment that it could be mark the end of the world on one success, no?
That's correct. That's correct. For example, let me show you another example which is incredibly interesting and which unfortunately not many people know. And it's normal, it's impossible that everyone knows everything, right? But for example, recently I learned that you know that the Soviet Union was dismantled in 1991, right?
Okay.
You are familiar with that event, yes?
Familiar, but
With the event that the Soviet Union was dismembered.
uh-huh.
The Soviet Union was a union of 17 countries:
Okay.
Ukraine, Russia, Lithuania, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, etc. You're familiar
Yeah.
with that?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. This
Well,
is
with Gorbachev, the Soviet Union was dismantled. But there wasn't when the nations separated or broke up, they said, okay, we're going to sign a treaty with the NATO. NATO is the OTAN.
Okay.
This is an international organization. And they say, okay, the Soviet Union is going to dismantle, but we're going to make an agreement. We're going to make an agreement. And the agreement is that the unions, the republics that are part of the Soviet Union, which are Ukraine, Georgia, Moldavia, Lithuania, Lithuania, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
because they are neighboring to Russia,
Mm-hmm.
they are neighbors, right?
Yeah.
You cannot belong to the club of my enemies.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In other words, Ukraine cannot go to NATO. Why not? Well,
So,
because if you are part of NATO, you can install nuclear bases here.
okay. Okay. Yeah.
And a nuclear base in the backyard of Russia, well, you will not permit that, right?
Yes.
Same as in Cuban Missile Crisis here. The United States, Kennedy, did not permit the Russians to install nuclear missiles in Cuba.
Yeah.
Why not?
For protection, no?
For protection because of the proximity,
Yes.
right? Well, if the Ukraine says, okay, I'm going to separate from Russia, now I'm an independent country, okay, but the condition is that you will never be part of NATO, right? That's the condition to separate the Soviet Union. This happened in 1991. 1991. But in 2004 or 14, I don't remember, I think 2014,
Okay.
they say, the United States says, okay, we invite you, Ukraine, to be part of NATO. And they say, oh, yeah, let's do it. Now, wait. Putin says, remember that in 1991, we signed a treaty in which the Ukraine cannot be part of NATO because if you become part of NATO, you can install nuclear weapons here. And I will
Okay.
not permit that. What happened with the Ukraine? They insisted and insisted and insisted and insisted. And consequently, they have a war for 3 years now.
For the insistently?
Yeah, because they were planning to join NATO.
Yeah.
So they want to prevent the installation. I mean, if they become a member of NATO, they have all the technical support from Europe, from the European community, from the European Union, and from the US, right?
Yeah.
And they consequently have the possibility to install nuclear weapons in Ukraine. And you
Okay.
know the proximity of the Ukraine with Russia.
Yeah, it's close, no?
So the Russians will not permit that.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's fundamentally the reason
Yeah.
of the war, right? They are pretending to ignore this agreement of 1991, right? When Gorbachev decided to dismantle Russia, the Soviet Union, but with the condition that no countries of this will ever belong to NATO. That was the condition.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I understand. Yeah. Yeah.
And now, years later, they pretend to forget. I said, what treaty? What agreement? No, of course. Right? We want to bring democracy to the Ukraine. Well, they want to bring democracy and nuclear bases, right?
Yeah. Yes. It
But they
sounds so
don't.
simple. It sounds
It's
so.
simple, but they don't put that in the news. They say Putin is a dictator. He wants to expand. He wants this. He's the devil, right? But
Yeah.
there is a lot of information that they don't say.
Okay.
Well, this is my perspective, of course, and of course, it's
Yeah.
not mine. I learned this from a very smart guy, two smart guys, Luis, that probably you'd like to take a look at their documentaries. One is Jeffrey Sachs, which, by the way, speaks an excellent English, and the other is Mersheimer. I'm going to send you the other one is
Yeah. Thank you.
Mersheimer. I don't remember their names. And I recently saw a documentary. Just I'm gonna send you because it's an opinion, of course. I'm not
Okay.
saying that this is the absolute truth, Luis, but it's interesting. Let me send it to you. YouTube videos. YouTube videos. Mersh. Okay. Jeffrey Sachs. Jeffrey Sachs. Okay. This is incredible.
So you
Jeffrey
sent to me?
Sachs. Excuse me, Luis.
You sent to me?
I'm gonna send it to you in a moment. Yes, yes.
Ah,
Okay, here. I just let me see. I just sent you a documentary. The documentary is in English. It's long. I mean, it's not a video to watch. Maybe one afternoon, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Another day, another 30 minutes. But
yeah,
it's very interesting because it gives you the complete story of the Ukraine war.
yeah.
I mean, in case that you were interested, but everything is like connected,
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, yeah.
right?
I have. I
Yeah.
have.
Okay. So because now everything is talking is all the world are talking about Trump, and Musk, and Putin, and Zelensky, and the Ukraine war, and this and that. I don't know if you have heard the news about this, Luis.
Yes, yes, yes. It's the news of the moment.
Yeah. And what do you think about this? What I know that you don't have all the information and I don't have all the information and people have different perspectives. But what's your
Yeah,
opinion in general?
yeah. Well, you say I don't have the all the information now, and even with the information that I have, I don't know I don't know a lot of the information. I know another people that know more for the topic, but also I think imagine it's a very I don't know if sad thought, but imagine exists one war or another part of the world, one very terrorific problem, a crisis, and all of these things. And well, a lot of people is saying, ¿cómo se dice preocupando, teacher?
Worried? Are worried?
Yes, are very worried, very worried, very sad with the problem, and also I sad with the problem. I think that I need to I empathize. I want to try to empathize with the people that live all of these tragedies, but also the another part is the I. It's an like an impotence. ¿Cómo se dice impotencia, teacher?
Powerlessness.
Yes.
Powerlessness.
Okay. Yeah. Powerlessness.
Powerless, exactly. Powerlessness. Let me put it here.
Powerlessness feeling. You know that I reading of these kind of topics. I consider that and this kind of theories and also this a lot of kind of history on the world. It's reading tragedies and reading bad sources and reading bad notice, worried notice, a lot of sad sources on the world, and this is not only on the contemporary world. I think that on the all of the history and this study only know to us that the human don't learn about his mistakes on his paths on his yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Also, what happens, Luis, is that the generation of our grandparents and the generation of our parents, they had their own problems. I mean, my parents had some problems.
Yeah.
If they had 10 problems,
Uh-huh.
they told me, think of your parents, or I think of my parents, or your grandparents. I am sure, I don't know, but I think that your grandparents had, for example, 10 problems,
Okay.
but they didn't communicate the 10 situations to your parents. Your grandparents or my grandparents didn't tell my parents, hey, look, Lula, my mom. When
Okay.
I was at your age, I had 10 problems. I had this. No, they only told one or two.
Yeah.
Why? Because they don't want to give you additional burden about, right? The parents want the best for their kids. They don't want you to create a big burden to be telling you about their problems. It's they want to kind of forget.
Okay. Yes.
I think. So they
Yes.
tell you, yeah, I had two or three difficult situations, but those situations gave me these lessons, right? So 10 problems, 10 lessons.
Yes.
But I think, you tell me your opinion, Luis.
Okay. Okay.
I think that our parents, in reality, they only tell us, nos cuentan, two problems and two lessons. Instead of 10, they tell us only two problems and two lessons.
Okay.
Your generation, my generation, or your parents' generation
Yeah.
ignore eight of the situations that happened from our grandparents.
Okay.
And then my daughters or your generation, Mickey, Mitch, you, Minerva, Sophie, my two daughters, we don't tell them the 10 problems that we had. We just tell them, hey, Sophie, I had these two situations. We were complicated when I was young, but I had the resolution in this and this, two lessons,
Yeah.
not 10. Because if I was just talking to you about my problems and this, so from generation to generation, a lot of valuable information is lost also. What do you think of this idea?
Okay. Yeah. I think that I understand, but it may depend of a lot of factors in the middle. Um,
Okay.
for example, we need to analyze for why is see, mommy, for why is this jump on the on the 10 problems since the 10 problems till the two problems of his parents. I mean, for why these eight problems lost us, or the eight lessons we need to value for why this jump, no, this jump of the study. Also, um, I think for to try to list the factors, for example, the the leap of the parents now and the future, and then the world, it come a lot competitive with the step of the days and with the step of the years and the generations. If we stay in need on a more complex world, with a globalist world that, imagine on the time of my grandparents, don't is easiest know all the information that they stay on passing the international world, like we see right now with a cell phone, with the web, with the internet, and a lot of ways to find this information. So I think that it could be one reason now that the information is more close, and also if the world is more competitive, is more quickly, and if the world is more quickly, the time with the parents, with the kids, is less, is menos, and this is a truly sadness thing that I think that if the parents have less time with the kids, este, is is less the lessons that the kids have, and also the education of the kids, and then the education of the persons in general in the world. And estoy como
Yeah, cultivating.
cultivating one word with a lot of falta de educación.
With a lack of education.
Yes, this word lack. Yeah, yeah, lack of education. Yes, and I think it must to be a lot of factors in the middle, no, of this jump of the generations. But also, I don't know. I need to say that it depends of the mentality of the families. For example, I am a person that I excited of on the future have one family, and I I know I imagine and I dream a lot with this idea, and I imagine me lessen some things that right now I live. For example, ¿cómo se dice consejo, teacher?
Advice?
Advice, yeah. Advice on the school, advice with the friends, advice with the relations with another people, advice to be a kind person, a good person, and all the values, a lot of problems. But when I imagine me extend these lessons or this knowledge, yeah, don't don't impose the lessons. No, you know, um, let the kids have his own opinions of the success, no? But I don't, for this, I don't consider that, on my opinion, it it must to be necessary. I don't consider that must to be necessary as tell the problems of us of mine on this example to my kids for the kids understand this problem. For example, if I imagine that I have one younger children, younger son. Imagine that he have 18 years now, and he start his relation with his girlfriend now. One girl on his school, one thing like that.
But wait a second. Wait, Luis. He's 8 years old or 18 years old?
No, 18.
Your kid, yes. Eight is very young. Okay. Let's do
No.
imaginary
Yes.
situation.
Yeah.
Your kid, okay, I'm gonna put Luis's kid is 18 years old, right?
Yeah. Luis is my son. Luis is my
Yeah,
son.
okay, I'm sorry.
Luis Junior.
Luis's kid is 18 years old,
Yes.
and he just got his first girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
continue. Great story. Great story.
Okay. So, he, now he start to have the problems with his girlfriend. No quotidianity problems.
Issues, the normal issues with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
standard, typical issues, all right? Okay.
And I project me. If I want to advise my son, I don't present one problems of mine on analysis with his problems, because if I touch these topics, it's like I present the problems with my wife to my kid till he understands the relations of love, no? But I don't think that it needs. I don't consider necessary this. I also consider a paradoxic. I don't think that if I show these problems to my kid, I don't think that I teach nothing. Al contrario, ¿cómo se dice al contrario, teacher?
On the contrary,
Yeah, on the contrary, I think that with this, I only
confuse him more,
cultivate more worries.
give him more worries.
Yeah, and this with all the problems, no? I think that because personally, I want to say that is one thing that I like. When another people could be my parents, could be my teachers, could be my friends, try to help to me with one advice, but they come to me one problem of him of they to help me and the analysis and then and therefore the advice and this continuation. Este, most that help me. This is a like an a couch of worries. You know, it's
Okay.
yeah.
Set of burdens. Burdens is like worries,
Oh,
extra weight. It's
okay.
it's very interesting, Luis. What you say is extremely interesting. Instead of helping you, they give you additional burdens.
Yeah.
Okay, it has its own logic, and I cannot say anything about that. It's okay. Yeah, okay, it makes sense, and I totally respect it. The question, the original question was, why why did we lose the lessons of our grandparents? Why and when did we lose the lessons from the past? Considering probably from our parents or our grandparents. Do you
Yeah.
agree that this is the main question that we want to respond, more or less?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
Do you think this is the basic question of the topic? Let's say, when and why did we lose important lessons or valuable lessons from the past, from our parents or grandparents, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
did we only get 80%? What, and then you
Yeah.
mentioned with a lot of logic that the best way to help a kid is not explaining your own problems, but analyzing his own personal situation, right? Is it? Or maybe
Yes.
not.
Yes. Yes. Is it? But also, I mentioned that it is the problems of the times, problems of the this world is more quickly, more competitive, and this it will be the reasons that for why the parents don't have the time to talk with his children, and for that the lessons staying
Get
lost.
lost.
Yeah, for the
Okay.
time.
Hence, consequently, many lessons have been lost. Okay. That's a little bit of a tragedy. A little bit,
Yeah.
because imagine the accumulation of experience, wisdom, knowledge, uh, great lessons from our parents that we are not getting. It's a little bit of a tragedy, don't you think? I mean, my grandmother lived 90 years. So let's say, in my own family, my
Okay.
grandmother lived 92 years. 92
Okay. Okay.
years. That was Mati. My grandpa, Juan lived 86 years. I'm,
Okay.
I'm going to show you the point of this.
Yeah.
Coco, my grandma, lived 62 years.
Yeah.
Rafael, my grandpa, I didn't know him, but he lived 57 years.
Okay.
Well, these four people, my grandparents, what is the addition of these four ages, please? Is
So
92.
can you repeat your question?
What is the addition? Is
The addition.
92 plus 86
Ah,
plus
okay,
52
okay.
plus 57, please.
68, 148, 148, 155, 205, 205, como, like, uh, I don't try, 297? I don't sure, I
296.
don't sure, I need to,
Not sure either.
yeah,
Probably, I don't know. Is it?
let me sum up on the calculator. Wait.
Yeah, I mean, I just okay.
Yeah. Ah, no, it's correct. It's correct. Yeah.
Is it about that? So it's 92 plus 86,
Yeah. Yes, it's
92
correct.
plus 6. Is correct?
Yes, it's correct.
Okay. Well, imagine almost 300 years experience with four people.
Yeah.
Imagine the experience of 300 years. How much wisdom, how much knowledge, years experience. Imagine four people only give you almost 300 years of experience, knowledge, situations, experiences, good moments, ideas. It's a lot
Yeah.
with four people only. But let's say that from this you receive only 10% or 20%. I think it's little. I mean, it still is very valuable and we love it. And we say, thank you, grandpa, thank you, grandma, right?
Yeah.
But it's a lot, it's like gold. I think for me, all the experience that our grandparents have or had is
Uh-huh.
worth gold or silver or copper, whatever. It's a fortune.
Okay.
In the knowledge, the shortcuts. Imagine the shortcuts. What is a shortcut? Shortcut, atajos, right?
Okay.
So just by communicating what is a good advice,
Hmm.
imagine your grandpa, Luis, study hard because that you will give you a good future. And then your grandmother tells you the same. And then your other grandpa tells you the same. And your other grandma tells you, four people tell you the same. Well, and your parents tell you the same. Study hard and be prosperous because that will give you a good life. Well, there is no way you can miss it, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah,
That,
and these things, it must, we see the value of the years, no? That also is one thing that we need to value to on this topic. Um, Imagine that if you compare it two different families. Imagine for one example is this that had 300 years, and also are another random family that have also on the sum, on the plus of all the years of the grandparents, is also 300 years. Imagine, but also I think that it is one bigger difference that what is the mentality of the person that lived these years, no? Because it's a lot of experience, but I think, and could be a critic on the topic. Mm, live, imagine live 100 years don't represent have 100 years of sabiduría. ¿Cómo se dice?
wisdom.
Wisdom. Ah,
That's a
wisdom.
great remark. Yes, yes. 100 years of life.
Yeah.
Don't. Yeah, of course, yes. 100. I agree. 100% with you. 100% with you. Okay. But is that an exception or is the rule? Can we have like a statistics? Let's say, well, yes, 100 years of life don't represent 100 years of wisdom. Yes.
Yes,
But
yes, yes.
how many years do you think? In 100 years, how many years of wisdom do you think people acquire?
Also, this have his parameters. Um, Imagine, okay, we analyze two different persons. The first person is one person that have the mentality that on his first 20 years of his life, he studied the normal studies, the secondary, the primary, the preparatory, the university, no? On the first 10 or a little bit more, whatever. And then these people assume that the one position of his mind that I study, I know from that the people that don't study, and therefore I live 20 years of experience. I have my job. I start to win money, and I affront the problems like I affront before another problems, and I continue with my life with my knowledge that I now have had. Yeah,
Yes.
this the first person, no, and
Yes.
then the second person, I think that is the most interesting person is one person that have all the same studies that the first person, all the continuation, but when he end his normal studies, he say, okay, I end the normally way to study. Y yo dejo de ser estudiante, ¿no?
I quit being a student.
Yeah,
I quit being a student.
I quit being a student. But
Or I finished being a student.
yes, yes, but I finished being a student on a school, but don't, but I always being a student of my life.
I
But
will
I
always be
always
a student of my.
of
Okay, great. Yeah, I agree. I understand, and I think it's a great topic. It's a great thesis. Yes.
yes, yes, yes. And this is the mentality of what all little thing that passed on your life, one a lot little problem since you are a baby, since you are digo till sorry till until you are a grandfather. All of these little problems are lessons. So if all these little problems are lessons, your life is your own school, own school. Sorry, and if is if you admit that your life is your own school, you're always being the one student, and I think that this must to be the position to on these 100 years that we have talked before, to take the most advantage,
Yeah.
the people that I always have the mentality of be a student of learn. I learn, for example, I learn of you, teacher, don't only with the English. I learn of you with all the topics that we touch in the class, in
Thank
the
you.
all the class. And for this, I think that the person that have the mentality of the student is crucial, is indispensably that have the value. It's not a value, but we want to recognize like a value, the value of the curious. Be curious
Value of curiosity.
of curiosity. Yes, be curious. Be curiosity on all the things, because the curiosity is one value that this generation is staying lost. For example, imagine the on one class, este, or on primary, one kid have the doubt, la duda, that
The question, the doubt, a
that
kid.
that the color of the garden, no, de un jardín.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it will be common that all his classmates stay to doubt that is obviously no the del pasto is green and the flowers it could be red, pink, and a lot of this, and for that these kind of comments kill the curiosity, for social pressure on this asseveration. But if you start to 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 really look at the curiosity of the kid could be start to question the pigmentation, the pigmentation, the pigmento,
The
uh,
pigment. Pigment.
the pigment, yeah, the pigment, the the este, the pigment, the environment situations. There is a lot of topics that connect only on one full depth, no? That maybe his classmates consider like a full depth. But I think that if one person have the curiosity, like one kid have his curiosity on his time on first years of his life, for example, before the eight years, when the kid is staying living, knowing, conociendo all of his,
Knowing.
yes, knowing, yeah, knowing all of his environment, all of his persons that are around him, all of and these kind of things. It's like this kid with this motor of curiosity, you have on this kid one philosopher on potence is
Right.
yeah,
That's the thing.
also the questions on these little things, and it's like the things that promote the knowledge and all the knowledge. For example, in the science, I think that the science work with the falsacionismo. I don't know if you know the concept. The falsacionismo is the staying to falsar the things, not to reach. For example, it's like an exercise on the dialectic, if we want to see like that, no? And the knowledge of the kid is one accumulate and systematic knowledge that the kid then could use on the practice now of his life. And this is yeah, yeah, the end. The end.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Luis. This is very extremely interesting.
Yeah.
What was your evaluation of the accumulation systematic knowledge of the kid? I got lost in this moment.
No, no, no.
You
It's only the analogy that don't like cómo funciona, ¿no?
how it works? Okay,
How it works. Yeah, yes. It's only a
right,
phrase to on conclusion.
right. It's really incredible how the human mind can acquire so many capacities, so many skills from different fields. The
Yeah,
analytical world, the synthetic world, you want to create a synthesis, you
yeah,
want to carry out this dialectic process of continuous conclusions or synthesis and so on,
yeah,
accumulating the knowledge, of course, but sometimes you need to organize the knowledge in a coherent way, right?
yes.
Coherent way to organize the knowledge. Okay, very good, Luis. Well, before we finish, how would you like to summarize our discussion of today in in the last part? The last part.
The last
Is it
part.
good to use the experience of our grandparents, of our ancestors,
Uh-huh.
parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, brothers, older brothers, big brothers? I have a big brother. You have a big brother too. You have a big brother and a big sister, right?
Yes, yes.
So, how do we make good use of the experience of our ancestors
Okay.
to finish?
Yeah. Uh, it's a lot of yeah, but um,
Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's something
yeah,
desirable? Is it actually that's the question? Is it desirable? Do you desire to take advantage? In other words, do you consider the experience of your parents, your grandparents, your brothers, your sister, your cousins, your uncles, your friends? Do you think the experience they have is something that I don't mean that you're going to live their lives, it's you live your own life, but it's something that you decided that you would like to get, or is it like valuable? What
yeah,
do you think?
yeah, yeah. When you know the life of another people, the experience, the life of another people, of your parent, of your grandpa, or if you read one biography, if you have one mentality of empathy, when you know this experience, this life, it's like you stay living his life. No, in a analysis, you start to have his feelings. For example, if your grandparent come to you one tragedy that he had, you empathy, you feeling his feeling, and therefore you have the like don't the same experience of the problem, but yeah the analysis and este the dynamic knowledge on analogy on your life, no, all of this knowledge that they project to you are knowledge that then you will present on your life. Because if you living the life of another's with the empathy, are problems, are a lot of things that you yes, like, yeah, I don't know if I if I give me to understand, yeah, but I think that is in crucial, the empathy, and also I think that is very very important. But I
Please.
confused with my own words. Sorry.
Don't worry, don't worry. And you're explaining very complex concepts in another language, Luis. You're doing a great job. Congratulations. And very interesting. I'm going to be thinking about today's conversation because I think it's very profound and it has a deep
Yeah,
meaning. And obviously, you are young generation. You are in a young generation. You are
yeah,
in the next generation. So
yes,
it is very interesting to contrast the
yeah,
different points of view of your generation, which is the generation of my two daughters,
uh
with
huh,
my generation, with the generation of our parents, and the generation of our grandparents. It's like a trans generational analysis, Liz.
yes, yes, yeah,
Okay, very good. Excellent conversation, Liz. Thank you very much as usual. I'm gonna send you the link. Show it to your dad, show it to your brother,
yeah,
to see what they
yes.
think. When you have the
Okay,
opportunity, discuss this with them and see what they think, right?
okay, teacher. Yeah.
Okay, take care, Liz. Have a
Take
wonderful
care,
night.
teacher. See
See
you.
you
Goodbye.
soon. Take care. Goodbye,
Take
Liz.
care. Goodbye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.